Draco, we've been waiting for 20 minutes.
I wouldn't say that.
She's just so cute under that box.
EA could actually launch a game that doesn't suck.
You know what this game needs?
Holy
Ponies.
Just like everybody.
Anybody else notice that the protagonist looks a lot like Egoraptor?
This week is going to be as awesome as Duke Nukem Forever.
Hello and welcome, everybody, to Bluescreen Bronies, episode 50!
Oh dear God, are we still doing this?
Somehow, yeah, apparently we've been doing something right. We've made it about 50 episodes so far and haven't killed anybody, although, ironically, Draco's not here, but he's probably alive, maybe.
Yeah,
Probably.
just don't check that ditch off of Beltway 8. Oh, wait, what?
Oh dear. Anyway, potential homicide aside, Valve apparently has joined the Linux Foundation. Now, what this means is that, according to a press release published today on the organization's website, Valve has joined the Linux Foundation, which is basically like a collective which helps to support companies and individuals who use and develop for the open source operating system. In the past few months and years, we've seen more and more of a push towards Linux support with things like SteamOS and Steam being pushed on Linux sources, Team Fortress 2, all the major games being for all three platforms, PC, Mac, and Linux. You know, I'm seeing a real potential here that Linux can come out of the shadows if Steam gives it enough support and money.
That's one of the main reasons Windows is so popular with, everything. Because, let's face it, most people who have computers at home, if they're not, like, an office worker or something, they're probably playing games or some kind of entertainment purpose.
That is very true. And thankfully, Linux is actually getting a lot of support from hardware devs as well. NVIDIA is starting to make their own first-party software or drivers just for Linux. And it's great to see people using something that's free and open source.
Yeah, no, because Linux is great for, just general use, because it's a pretty light system, good for devs, good for coding. I mean, it's just really... The whole problem with it is it's not known, and a lot of people still think it's like how it was in like the 90s, where, you had to code for everything. You didn't have like a GUI or anything.
But it can still be that way if you like it.
Well, yeah, that's the nice thing about Linux, it's flexible. So in other news, the year of Luigi will continue into 2014 with, much approval, besides petitions and everything else, out of either satire, spite, or something else, I don't know. It's nice to see the little green player 2 coming out of the shadow for a limited period of time anyway.
Well, although, on a sadder note, the actor for Luigi from the Super Mario Bros. Super Show back in the 80s died at the age of 72.
Rest in peace.
Yep, Canadian actor Denny Wells, best known as the guy who played Luigi on, like you said, the show. I mean, he's done some other stuff too, but let's see, he was also in the Jeffersons, and I'm pretty sure he's in some other sound and video games, like, let's see here, he was in Chaos Theory? Huh, that's funny.
That's very different.
That is very different. Oh great, now I'm seeing Luigi with some Sam Fisher goggles on.
Get on that, artist. Make it happen.
Oh god. Anyway, well, I mean, Luigi's had a really good year this year, considering with the release of Luigi's Mansion 2 and Super Luigi Brothers and all the upcoming Mario games. It's been a very solid year. And then with Brawl the new Smash Bros. On the horizon, God only knows what's next.
Oh, you can't even imagine how many Mario things are going to be in Brawl.
Oh dear lord.
Oh god, all I can say is bring back Dr. Mario for that game.
Okay, now I've got an idea. Stay with me. Dr. Luigi.
Oh god, wouldn't it be Nurse for Luigi?
Oh no.
Dr. Luigi and Nurse Daisy. Instead of just throwing pills at you, he actually cures you.
Yeah.
Somehow I think Lewis from... Was it Left 4 Dead would have a field day on Dr. Mario?
Oh, jeez. Pills here.
Pills. Oh, God.
Well, You better watch your language if you ever plan on playing NBA 2K14, assuming anyone would actually play that.
I don't know. NBA 2K games have been pretty popular, but apparently with the 2K14 edition, you might get penalized for profanity. If you audibly swear near the PlayStation camera or the Kinect, you're going to receive a technical foul due to foul language. Now, I think that's actually pretty cool. Because, a lot of people have gone on, online games and then getting sweared out left and right because, apparently people don't know how to be civil when they play against people competitively.
Civil is a relative term.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, if it's audibly picking up people saying swear words, they're generally going to switch it, and if another foul language spawns from it, it's just another workaround for it.
Yeah, it's still a neat feature, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like from a technological standpoint, that's kind of cool.
Going back even further, NBA 2K13 did it on the 360 last year. So,
really?
This has been around for a while.
Huh.
Now, that'd be very interesting, since I would think that people would be able to disable their microphones.
Well, all you had to do was just disable the Kinect.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, you could, but that would ruin the point of it.
Well, unfortunately, with the X-Bone, you can't disable the Kinect.
Fair enough.
Just put some tape over the microphone slot.
Just put it in a bag.
Then you just get a little window pop-up that says, "We can't hear you breathing. Please uncover the microphone."
Now a little window pops up. Can you at least put some Doritos in the bag?
Oh, Xbox. You love your Doritos, don't you?
So apparently people still play RuneScape.
That's new.
That's kind of shocking. I mean, they came out with not too long ago. They came out with retro mode. They've been updating it pretty steadily. It moved towards phones, and now apparently RuneScape players raised about $90,000 for charity. Earlier this year, Jagex introduced the Well of Goodwill, an outlet for RuneScape players to donate their in-game currency. In turn, the developer would make contributions per every 10 million gold pieces put into the well by the player base. That's pretty cool.
Well, there's one way to get the gold out of the economy.
Yeah, fix the economy and donate to charity. Win-win.
Good on you, Jagex. Now, if only we could make some form of charitable contributions. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yeah, if we made about, 1% of that, that would be sweet. But, I don't know. Guess we can call it a stretch goal.
Well, it's good to see that people are spending their processor hours playing RuneScape and helping kids. When, you
Yep.
boink or fold at home.
I don't know. There's still a drive for RuneScape considering it's still browser-based. I mean, you gotta look like you're working at some point. Alt-tab is your friend. Alt-tab is your friend.
I'm just hoping that they bring drop trading back. Oh, the good old days.
Oh, that's right, That was fun. Oh god, drop parties. Ah, geez, now I'm having a whole bunch of flashbacks to RuneScape.
And I have no idea what these two are talking about.
Oh, don't worry, since then I've converted over to World of Warcraft.
Oh, I
Hey,
quit playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, my account expired last month, so...
Womp womp, sad trumpet. I don't know, after Pandas I was kind of done.
I don't know, I am kind of looking forward to the next expansion, Time-Traveling Draenor, because why not?
Well, it's not technically time traveling, it's interdimensional rifts, which happen to be in the past, as to not affect canon.
Actually, yes. You know what? This wasn't originally on the list, but we're going to talk about it. The news from BlizzCon back at the beginning of November was that Warlords of Draenor. Well, evidently the Pandas didn't do a very good job of locking up Garrosh. He goes back in time, somehow.
Well, technically he enlists one of the sages of Pandaria to send him into an alternate dimension, which happens to be in the past relative to the current dimension in World of Warcraft, in which he enlists his army and does all this fun stuff, and now it's Orc Rush all over again. As if it was 30 years ago, back in, good old-fashioned Warcraft 1.
This is actually back before the rise of the Horde. The first horde of Warcraft 1.
Yep.
I mean, the horde is going to be allied with the Frostwolf clan, and the Alliance is going to be, their base of operations is going to be the Black Temple. Or in this case, the Temple of Karabor, and Shatrath City is actually going to be a Draenei fortress from the sounds of it.
Huh, that sounds interesting. I was more kind of astounded when I found out that the events from Warcraft 1 all the way up to the current stage of World of Warcraft is only about a 30-year in-game span.
Whereas the lore of the game spans back over 10,000 years.
And we don't know jack.
Well, we've only touched a couple pieces of it. The farthest back the game actually lets you go is the Sundering, which was one of the endgame dungeons of Cataclysm.
Something like that. But speaking of not knowing about anything, apparently Bethesda is seeking playtesters for an up-and-coming and released games. Very suspicious.
Especially considering it's in a specific location, the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas, which happens to be home to ID Software, developers of Doom and Quake.
And we all know that id Software is currently working on Doom 4. So, also this could mean that maybe those rumors about Fallout 4 could be true as well. Considering that maybe that website Survivor 20-something, what is that?
$22.99?
Thank you kindly. Survivor 2299 was potentially a hoax? Nobody really knows. It's just been drumming up media attention like a college band. But I'm super excited. Anyway, so on to, I guess, pony game news. There's a distinct lack of first-person shooters, so somebody went and made No Guns in Canterlot. It's done in the Unity engine, which it's pretty neat. Not really sure what the angle is.
Let's just put guns in Equestria. Why not?
That sounds like a good idea. What could possibly go wrong?
I like the little text here, because apparently magic missiles aren't good enough.
I don't know, it feels like a bit of a stretch for me, though. Like, just kind of feels like they're trying to grab at an audience that wasn't really interested beforehand.
I mean, this reminds me of one of the rants I usually go on when we talk about pony games, they're just slapping ponies on it for the sake of it.
A lot of times. However, there has been some really solid contributions. I mean, like the Ponyvania games actually have done a really good as far as conversion mods go.
And then there's also
Up and coming good games.
My Little Investigations with, our good friend Gabu.
Mega Mare X looks pretty good.
It does. Played that back at the con.
Yeah, I can't imagine why you're pushing that game.
I can't imagine either.
Oh, anything by Footsie back on, DA for some quick flash fixes. Those are usually pretty good.
We haven't actually covered one of his games in a while, and I think there's been like 2 or 3 come out since the last one.
Anyway, so apparently there's a bit of a trend now with the next gens. Seems that the Xbox One's been having a little bit of a hard time keeping up with resolution and frame rate of the PS4. Across the board, games like Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you get Xbox One resolutions ranging from 720p to 900p, whereas PS4 has been pretty steady around 1080p.
Yeah, my, PC says hello from about 3 years ago.
Yeah, no, we're not going to drag the PC into this one. We all know, given the right components, a PC is superior, just on a graphical quality standpoint. Given, you can optimize it for game graphics. But still, it's a bit disappointing that, we were promised like updated graphics and, PC quality, which is pretty hard to, match on a console box while still making it affordable. I just like to see a little bit of consistency.
Yeah, consistency is really good. But now what I think is interesting is that, as we all know, probably most of our computers can run 1080p. But what I think is very interesting is image quality, because you can always have FXAA, MSAA, anti-aliasing, just other types of filtering that would make the image look better. Now, I think the Xbox One may be trying to lead towards that more and upscaling them to 1080p from 720p, while PS4 is just going full out 1080p.
Yeah, because if you look at some of the differences, they have the article we're posting from has some nice screenshots. It's pretty clear that the Xbox One is considerably more pixelated, given if they're trying to upscale from 900p to 1080p, because that's never a really happy conversion. I mean, even with FXAA and all those other filters, you're still going to be seeing some after effects from any kind of scaling.
Well, PCs always have the customizability, while consoles are kind of locked in.
Yeah, I really wish that consoles would, allow you to scale up and down depending on your system.
Well, normally it automatically scales to the television or does a really poor attempt at it. But what I'd really like to see is stop locking the games at 30 freaking FPS.
30 FPS should be kind of the baseline at this point, with how far we are technologically standing.
60 should be the baseline.
Maybe 60 is still a stretch for a lot of systems. Also, not a lot of TVs, even though they claim to be 60 or 120 hertz, can keep up with that very well.
Well, don't forget, TVs are made for generally watching TV or movies, which are usually recorded and set at, I think, 24.7 frames per second.
Something around there. But right now, as far as the industry, last time I was working in the industry anyway, you could not let games drop below, I think it was 20 FPS. That was the bare minimum, with all dev content still in. Which, is acceptable, but I'd really like them to see it scale it up, a little bit more of a challenge, to kind of crank these numbers up a little bit higher to ensure that, graphical quality is at its finest. Oh boy, speaking of developer options, some of the Xbox Ones in retail have been discovered to have dev menus still enabled on them. I feel like there's some people in some offices that are not going to be happy.
Yeah, but this is great for those that want to attempt hacking them or make their own stuff for Xbox One, and that's all what I'm for.
That'd be great and all, but that does require you two things: A, you know what you're doing, and B, you have the the technological backing for it. Having a dev console is one thing; having the equipment, materials, and internet connection to successfully use it is something else entirely.
Not to mention the fact that the average user who actually manages to access this is going to brick their system.
Oh yeah, no, it's a ticking time bomb if you don't know what you're doing with a dev box. Let's see, more Xbox news. Microsoft promises Xbox One party improvements. Apparently there's been a little bit of issue running around. I wouldn't know, I don't have an Xbox One.
As long as it's better than Skype, I'm good.
Yeah. You figure when they included Skype they wouldn't have this kind of issue, but I don't know, leave it to Microsoft. Apparently, Xbox One owners have encountered numerous issues with the Xbox One party system in particular, including problems connecting to party chat, confusion over the manner through which multiplayer invites are sent, and issues joining multiplayer games, as those such as Rise.
And they couldn't have just imported the system from the 360 that actually worked?
Worked is a very tentative word.
Well, it worked better than the PS3's party chat.
After 6 years, they kind of got it workable. Oh boy, let's hope the lifetime of this console either is long enough so that we can actually make some improvements, or they just get their stuff together and crank this out.
Or somebody writes the game facts for it.
Hopefully.
They are promising something, but remember, this is Microsoft.
Oh god, they're promising something? That's not good. Well, let's talk about somebody who can actually deliver. Kojima didn't initially want to split Metal Gear Solid 5 into two parts, but series creator suggests it could be a significant wait between Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain.
This is very interesting to me, because Kojima has always been the kind of designer that has something set, and when he has it set out, he definitely goes through the ropes just to show the player what he had set for that, which is kind of evident throughout all the Metal Gear games. And it's kind of odd, because, as it just said, that he didn't want to split into two parts, but the consoles being pushed for early release may have led to it.
Yep. Yes, they didn't want. Yes, they finally got him to cave on a release date. I mean, good grief. When have we ever had a Metal Gear Solid game that came out on the first date it was offered? Usually they get pushed back, but it's always for good reason. I mean, I'm having a hard time recalling a bad Metal Gear game.
Bad Metal Gear game? Those don't go well in the same sentence.
Exactly. You know, Revengeance is kind of the black sheep of the crowd, but it's still a great game. I mean, feels a little less polished in some parts, but I mean, still, it's playable. At the very
It's fun.
least. Yeah, it's different.
I think it aimed more for fun than the traditional great stories that the Metal Gear bring, which is still a good game.
Still had that Kojima wow effect, though. But yeah, at least they're pricing it kind of respectably, though. You know, boxed Xbox 360 and PS3 versions will be about $30. Digital versions on the PS3 and Xbox 360 cost about $20. And PS4 and Xbox One digital versions will be priced at about $30 as well.
This is something that I think is really great to see from developers, since they're really having respect for saying, we're not going to be making or losing as much money because we're making a physical version, and if you're going to buy it without costing us more money, I don't think we should be paid for that service. So here you go, have it for cheaper.
Yep.
It's great since it allows a greater audience to be able to experience it, and that's what I love about Kojima and his team, is that they're all about having people experience their game.
Oh yeah, even when they ported it to Metal Gear Solid 3 on the 3DS, that was solid. Like, you know, it wasn't overpriced, but because they knew what it was a remake, and it was made really well. And even if you go back towards the original launch of Metal Gear Solid 3, it didn't work too well with, you know, the whole top-down view that people were accustomed to from 2. So they went back, changed the game, and re-released it. And then, of course, you know, you get the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection, and all this great stuff that, you know, the guys at Kojima and the other companies involved are just phenomenal with this kind of thing.
Word to the wise, Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection, best $50 anybody has ever spent.
Because it's a whole lot of games.
I don't know, there was this one pizza I bought that was $50.
You paid $50 for a pizza?
It was one of those giant little challenge pizzas.
Oh dear lord.
Was it free if you ate it all within a certain amount of time?
Oh, we failed horribly, but there were like 6 people.
Did you get like halfway through and then have your left arm go numb?
Actually, I was just sitting there taking pictures.
Oh god. Way to not help out, scrub.
Somebody had to get the blackmail.
Well, looks like that's about all the time we have. So, don't forget to join us on December 20th through the 22nd for a night full of games, charity, special guests, and overall sleep deprivation.
There's also a chance of a dancing baby dragon.
Oh dear lord.
Are we gonna get him to wear that jacket?
I'm gonna make him wear that. I'm taking my 360, my Kinect, and Star Wars.
Oh dear.
Oh, the fun will be engaged.
Well, that's about it for us, folks. Good night.
Not.
Take care.